We're going to help you guys study for the next Navy advancement because honestly, we are high scoring test takers on the Navy advancement exam. So stay tuned if you want to understand the core basics of how to do well in this test. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And we have a Patreon link down below where you can donate as little as $1. Help the channel grow. We appreciate it. Thank you. So you obviously have made rank very fast. How fast did it take you to make E5?
E5, 3 years.
As what rate?
HM, a corpsman.
Hold on. What rate was that?
I believe a hospital corpsman, HM.
Oh, you mean the one that all the recruiters say is really hard to make advancement?
That
Oh,
one.
Yeah, or the one that we're both going to be E6? You're going to be E6. How many years are you going to be in as an E6?
That's going to be 6 years.
Oh, what?
As an
Hold up.
E6.
As what rate, though? Like, you can't be a corpsman anymore. What rate?
That HM, that's a hospital corpsman.
Wow. Wow.
Believe it.
Believe it or not, you can actually make advancement as a corpsman. So, yes, I know a lot of you guys are trying to make advancement and you guys are worried about making rank, but obviously we are here to kind of prove that wrong if you heard that from your recruiter. But yes, we're going to talk about how to get there pretty much because we scored well. What have your test scores been, if you don't mind me asking?
So, the first time I ever took a test, I scored a 50, which is pretty average. But after that, upwards of 70.
Yeah.
So, pretty high 70s from there on out.
So I want to put context to this because obviously not many people understand. The highest score you can get is an 80. Lowest score, I don't think anyone even knows the lowest score.
The lowest score I've ever come in contact with was honestly a 15.
Really? Yes. I've never even seen that. I think the lowest I saw was like 30 something. So, but pretty much it's on a score of 80. It's a test which is based on a curve. And if you're pretty much scoring in the 70 to 80 range, you're going to be in the 99 percentile of people taking it. As somebody that I've scored 71, 73, and a 76 on the last time I took it for E5, I was honestly approached by a lot of people like, how did I score so well? I have met people that have scored a perfect 80. Again, this is against your peers. So the better you do against everyone else means you're going to be the top dog. So I think it's kind of cool too because we both have the same study technique.
We do,
but
definitely.
I want you to go through what your study technique was.
I print out the bibs. So if you don't know what that is, it's the bibliographies for whatever your rate is. The Navy puts that out ahead of time and lets you know these are the references that we are going to be pulling from. I print them out and I read them, honestly, from front to back, from the instruction number to the end credits.
Yeah,
everything. And anything that jumps out at me in terms of, in the Navy, numbers are going to jump out at you, percentages, just factual information. I would highlight it and I'd see it in a test answer and then, select that. And
yeah, I know it sounds very basic saying that, and that's because it is basic. The funny thing is that there's a lot of study material out there that's asking for your money. Not going to mention any website specifically, but yes, there are people wanting to get your money that they compile or they try and do this work for you. But I was talking to you about this off camera, was the fact that we realize that reading the material, even though when you read straight from the text or the reference, there are questions that are pulled from there that you didn't expect. But since you read the actual material, you understood the context of the material to actually guess the right answer or get the right answer. You feel like that was a key to your success?
Definitely. I mean, that and adding on to attending advancement classes and EAP, early advancement programs that my commands had, definitely helped. And it's not just reading to pick out information, it's reading to understand the concept of whatever that reference was trying to put out is what really will help you when you are taking that advancement exam.
I don't know about you, but I felt like studying the material actually made me better at my job, a little bit. I was like, it's a little relevant. I get this.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff I did, I had no idea why I did it. And I was like, oh yeah, it says it right here. The thing about it is there's these advancement material study guides that are out there that are trying to just give you question and answer where you don't understand concepts or what the right answer might be just because you're studying a trivia question versus actually reading the material.
Definitely.
Now, for you, I did the same thing, but correct me if you did this differently, was I actually would highlight everything, and then that way when I went back through, I pretty much would only read highlighted information.
Definitely.
I didn't read anything else.
Definitely. That's exactly what I did as well.
How far out would you study to make sure that you did well. I think this is key because this is part of planning.
So advancement exams are every 6 months. There is one coming up in March.
Yep.
For the March exam, I would always study beginning of January to give myself enough time. There's just so many references for our rate that you can't expect to read all of that. I would give myself 2 to 3 months ahead of just getting into the reference and reading.
Yeah. I say that that's good because I did the same thing. I think I did more so like a month and a half out. But what I did was I would set every single day. I would do 1 hour. I was like 1 hour a day. That's it. Because you realize an hour is easy. And so I would do an hour a day, highlight. If I wanted to do more and I felt motivated, I would do more. And some of the references are smaller. And if I was like, oh, that I finished the reference, but it was only 20 minutes, I would move on to the next and just try and complete the hour. So
it adds on. I mean, an hour a day. And then by the time you're taking an advancement exam, you've had over so many hours of just reading not just one material, but the whole bib.
To dive into the other materials, because why this method is better, because I know a lot of people are going to want the easy way out of paying, what, like 10, 20 bucks, whatever, to do on advancement. So we said it's based on a curve. And so the reason why we're saying this is better is because most people are not going to do what we have done to get 70 plus scores. And that's the truth. So because it's based on a curve against your peers, you have to do what nobody else is willing to do. And if you study those materials, you may get better scores. You probably will. But you are going to be along the pack of people that are just wanting an easier route by doing trivia questions.
Definitely. So, pros and cons with trivia questions, and the high turnover rate, you get a lot in the little amount of time you study. So you might see a test question or a few that were trivia questions or from whatever test bank that you were studying from. But if you understand the concept, if you understand the reference material, even if it's, we were talking about earlier, just knowing what reference it is in terms of just the number, something as basic as that will go a long way.
I'm one of those people where I realize that there's a lot of people that want to rush studying advancement and they wait till 2 weeks before or whatever. So it's like the plan, treating it like a college class, how you study the material is really key. And I would say that those study guides are better reviews, would you say?
Reviews, yeah,
definitely. The better review than it would be to be your core study material. And you mentioned the enlisted advancement program, which I've done as well, which can be good or bad.
Depends on who's teaching and how they have their program ran, but definitely.
Yeah. And that should be a review as well. Too many people go to that thinking like, oh this is my study.
Know it. Yeah, like I'm going to get all the test questions. And they're like...
Not at all.
Study advice. Last words, really, if you want to pick up rate, if you want to pick up rank, if you want that extra money, you have to be willing to go the extra distance. And that means giving yourself enough time to study the references that the Navy has provided for you to be able to do your job well.
Yeah. So the other thing I want to put into is like, there's a lot of people that go and they're like, oh, I got to get the best eval and work hard. And then they get that best eval ever. They get the EP. And what ends up happening is they don't study for the test and they don't make advancement. So they've done all this work to be known as the best, but nothing to take care of themselves and ensure they get that next rank by studying. So studying is honestly key. It's the other, like, what, 30-ish% of you making rank or not.
Definitely.
But as always, guys, if you guys have questions for me or Harley, you can hit us up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And we have a Patreon link down below where you can donate as little as $1. We appreciate it. Thank you. Love you guys. See you next time.